Okay, hello. Today we are going through mobility. The main focus today is going to be on our chest, our quads, our hips we're going to focus on, and we're going to do a few strength training, strength mobility, and relaxation techniques. So you'll just need a few yoga blocks if you like for modification. You can also use small towels. And I have a foam roller here. I am going to use some things with the foam roller. If you don't have one, take a large towel and roll it up. You'll just need it for a little bit of support. So we're going to start slow here. Just do a quick warm up. Mobility is always much better when your body core temperature is warm. So we're just going to start with some light movements here. So hands and knees, tuck the toes under. Deep breath in, look up towards the ceiling, roll the shoulder blades back and down, breathe out. And tuck that spine in, tuck your pelvis under and the chin. So let's switch, breathe in, pelvis rotates up, shoulders roll back and down. Breathe out, tuck the pelvis under, tuck the chin in. So just move at your own pace, and we're going to do 4 more here. Great job. Let's have your hands just a little bit wider. Bring the toes together and then drive the knees out. So top of the feet can rest down. Let's sit the hips back. If your heels are touching your glutes and your arms are not fully extended, straighten them out so your chest can then reach towards the floor. Breathe in here, and then we're going to keep it active by pushing our hips forward, squeezing our glutes. So slightly move back and forth. The main areas you want to feel this are in your lats, so in the back. You want to feel this in the shoulders. So you're creating more mobility in the upper body, your hips, inner thighs, and also a little bit in the ankles as you shift your body weight back and down. Nice work. So take your time, match the breathing. As your hips come forward, think about squeezing your glutes. Squeeze the glutes, you'll notice a little bit more pressure in the hips. Once more. Great. I want you to stay in this position. I'm just going to rotate here so you can see from a different angle. We're going to take one leg and straighten it out to the side the best you can. If that means fully extend it out and you can feel a strong stretch in the inner thigh, great. If that means walking it in a little bit to decrease the pressure, you can adjust the way that you need to. And we're going to do that same movement of shifting the hips forward, shifting the hips back with now this one leg straight. So I'm going to keep this active. That leg that's extended long, keep the toe pointed towards the front of the room, same direction as what your fingers are pointing in. All the pressure staying in the palms. So we're really having a wide base of support. Fingers are spread out. Once more here, and just sit back as far as you feel comfortable. Strong pull, no pain. Great job. Final one. Thanks, and we'll switch sides. So bring that leg in, toes are still pointing together, knees are out, and then just shift your body weight and extend that leg as far as you can. Toes facing towards the front of the room, and when you're ready, keep it active. Breathing in as you sit back, out as you come forward. Nice work. The great thing about mobility is that the more that you can break up the fascia tissue with foam rolling, with active stretches, the more mobile your body can be, the better your performance will be in your workouts. So if you're able to get deeper into a squat or lower into a lunge, increase a range of motion with a movement, your body will be getting stronger. And the more range of motion that you have, then the longer the muscle is going to be able to stretch, and you'll be able to build strength at the insertion points of the muscle or closest to it. Final one. Great. So we'll come back in, just keep it active a little bit so toes are still together. Come back to this position where your knees are out, sitting back, pushing forward. Just do a few here to neutralize. And then from this position, bring the knees in, shift the hips forward, drop the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, and push back up. So we'll do a few shoulder blade retractions, and then we're going to get into our chest mobility. Great work. So the focus today, chest, quads, and hips. On our next mobility session, we'll be focusing on our back, our hamstring, glutes, and calves. Final one. Great job. So we're going to start on the floor. You won't need your blocks quite yet, but keep them handy and close by. You can also use, again, towels to help elevate the hands. So we're just going to start by keeping it active, where we're doing a scorpion twist. So palms to the floor, elbows nice and high, and just start small. So small rotation through the torso, bring one leg up and across over the body. Your gaze should still face down. And we're moving nice and slow here. So we're just creating a little bit of tension in the chest. Elbows stay pointed towards the ceiling as high as you can. If you find that this is uncomfortable, you can extend one arm out and push. You'll have to switch each time. Drag it in, extend out to the other side, and switch. So both are great options for the chest. If you do choose to extend the arm, you may feel it a little bit more in your bicep as well. So pick the pace that's comfortable for you. Great job. From here, we're going to extend our arms straight out long. And I actually want you to flip that hand over. So we're rotating now, thumb points towards the feet, pinky towards the head. And we're just going to slowly rotate, same side, holding the hand in that position. By flipping the hand over, keeping it at chest height, we're starting to isolate a stretch in the bicep. We're getting a little bit more rotation through the shoulder. Great job, last one. Excellent. So I'll flip the hand back over, drag it in close towards the chest, other side. So straighten out that hand, still at chest height. We're flipping it over so the palm faces towards the ceiling, thumb towards the feet, pinky towards the head, and we're pushing up and away with our opposite arm, keeping that chest down. And you want to go to the point where you feel a strong pull. There should be a challenge here with the mobility. Not that it should be painful, but you should feel quite a bit of tension. So you want to push to that point where you feel quite a bit of resistance and then release back. Just once more. Great. So hands in close. Option to now take one block on either side of the body, right where your hands were positioned. If you had your hand extended out for the rotations, I want you to keep your arm cactus out. So at a 90-degree angle, and elbow is resting on the center of the block. If your hands were on the floor, our hands are now going to be elevated up even higher. So elbows stay up. We're going to go and hold for 3 seconds on each side. So we'll rotate, twist up and over. You can start to bend that knee. We're holding for 3. And we'll switch. So now that the hands are elevated up off the floor, the stretch should feel quite a bit more intense. Take your time, move slow. If your elbow is bent at 90 degrees, you're going to have to just switch to push from the palm. So if I'm pushing from my left hand, my right elbow is still down. And then I'll have to switch left elbow down, right hand up. That's only if you're keeping your elbows on the blocks. Nice work. So we're holding for 3. So we're going to go one final position. If your blocks have moved at all, readjust so they're right in line with the chest. We're going to hold this position now. So I want you to kick one leg over. You're holding to the side. So now it's a really deep stretch in that chest. We're staying here. Deep breath in. You can rest your head on the floor if you like, if your neck is tired. And I want you to try to create as many deep breaths as you can. So take in a lot of air through the nose, expand the chest. You'll notice as your chest expands, the stretch increases, the mobility increases. So what I want you to think about, I rotated the pressures on my left side. So it doesn't matter what side you rotate it towards, but if I'm on my left side, so I'm going to coach for the left. But what I want you to do is now put pressure in that left hand. Push down into that block, almost like you're wanting to do a push-up from this position. We're not lifting up off the floor, and this could be just a very low amount of pressure, but I want you to think if you were to try to do a push-up right now, that's how you'd be pushing into that block. So the base of the palms. And now I want you to release that tension. And you may notice now after you've released that tension, your body can rotate a little bit further. So we're still holding on the same side. Great job. Just a few more seconds here. Let's push again. So drive through the palm as if you're going to do that push up. Your body stays down. You're staying rotated nice and low. So your body isn't coming up off the floor, but we're pushing from that palm, from that left side. And we'll release. You'll notice there could be quite a bit of pressure in your wrist also. That's normal. We're just creating, there's mobility in the wrist, in the ankles. That the more that improves also, the better your push-ups will be, the better your squats will be. And we'll slowly come back to center. If you like, you can shake out your arm, move very slowly. Rotate through the wrist, let the blood flow come back because we've restricted it. And we're going to switch sides. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can stay where you are. I'm just going to rotate around. So when I talk, I'm facing. So we're starting low. And we're holding to one side. So elbows are high up towards the ceiling. I'm now going towards the right. So push and rotate on the right side up and over. You may notice one side is a little bit more tense than the other. I can already feel a big difference on this side of the body. You can rest your head down if you choose. And that top leg just comes up and over. So you can bend the knee if you like. You can keep it straight, but as long as the body weight shifted is behind your other leg, your top leg should be behind your bottom leg. So we're deep breath here. And we're going to create that tension. So if your hands are on the blocks, you're pushing from the palm on the right side if you rotated towards the right. If your elbow is down, you're pushing from and driving from that elbow. So it's about creating that tension. That's what we want here. We want the tension in the muscle. You want that extra feeling of resistance. We're holding here. Deep breath through the nose. Don't hold your breath. And we're relaxing the muscle, staying in the same position. You'll notice you probably get deeper range of motion through the wrist and through the chest. We're going to go once more. So let's push, create the tension, keep the elbow high. Nice work. Feel a big stretch in your chest and your shoulder and the wrist. This is great for your forearms too. If your forearms get sore from holding the weights, this is an excellent one to do. Nice deep breath here. And relax that tension. Notice if you can go a little bit further now that you've come to a relaxed state. And we'll nice and slow come back to center. Great job. You can shake out the arms, move nice and slow here, allow the blood to come back. When it's restricted, circle the wrists. Take your time getting up. We're going to transition now into our quads. So just start from a kneeling position. I recommend having a towel, something underneath the knee. I have carpet here, it's very soft, but if you're using a yoga mat, then have an extra towel underneath your knee. We're just going to start by creating some mobility in the quads, but keep this glute back, glute squeeze. Let's start everyone, left leg forward, right leg back. Option to keep your back toe flat or tuck under, but we're squeezing this glute. You're driving forward and it should be very small range of motion. So just push forward, feel that stretch in the hip flexor, and then sit back and release. Squeeze, push forward to a point of strong pull, and sit back and release. Breathing in as you push forward. Breathe out as you sit back. Nice work. Let's do 5 more. Squeeze, push forward, chest is up. Release, sit back. Very nice. If you want extra mobility and breaking up your fascia tissue in your foot, then I'd recommend tucking your back toe under. Nice work. 1 more. Great job. So from here, we're going to take away the glute activation. So relax your glutes, and now you're going to shift forward. Chest comes up towards the ceiling. So hold here for 3, and then we'll sit back. Push forward, hold for 3, look up towards the ceiling. Hips are level. So your left leg is forward. I want you to think about your right hip. Drive that right hip forward also. Deep breath when you're deep into this stretch. Exhale as you sit back. Holding for 3. Nice deep breath. And sit back. So notice each time, try and go just a little bit further into that stretch. Opening up your hip flexors will help you with squat depth. So if you find that you're able to make your squat down to a 90-degree angle, but maybe your butt can't go lower than that, often it can be the cause of tight hip flexors. Final one. So this is a great stretch to do if you're wanting to get lower into your squats. The lower you go with your squats, the more glute you get. Great job. So final option here, you can take your block and you can rest your knee on the top of the block. This is going to create more intensity, a higher intensity level. So we're going to shift forward. We're going to hold. Option to keep your knee flat on the floor. You don't have to use the block. So we're holding this stretch. Let's tuck your back toe under. From here, hands resting on the knee. And what I want you to do is just put pressure into that back toe. It's almost like a lunge position. You don't have to lift your knee up off the block, but put pressure like you're going to do a lunge. So your body weight is in the heel of the front foot, toe of the back. If you like, you can fully lift off. We're holding here, look up, chest up. Deep breath. Really feel a really large, intense stretch in that right hip flexor. Close off the hip, so drop that right hip down. Keep the tension, well, relax now. Try and sit a little bit further if you can into that stretch. So we're in a relaxed state, knees resting on the floor. We're going to do that 1 more time. So we'll tuck our back toe under. Put pressure into that back leg. You don't have to lift the knee. That pressure will still sometimes be enough. Or if you really want to intensify it, let's lift that back knee. Chest is still up, looking towards the ceiling. We're holding for 4, deep breath. 2, and 1. Relax back down. And 1 more further in. So relaxed state, knee is rested. You should be able to push just a little bit further now. And we'll slowly, slowly sit the hip back, coming up and out. Sometimes take a minute, allow your body to transition nice and slow. We are going to switch sides, so keep your blocks handy, but we're going to start on the floor. So now right leg is forward. Notice how that right hip feels too. There should be a little bit of tension left over still. All right. So from the beginning, toe is option, toe is tucked under or flat foot. We're squeezing this left glute and pushing forward. Relax, sit back, squeeze the glute, breathe in, push forward, look up. Breathe out, relax, sit back. Take your time. Great job. Really focus on that hip flexor. So you should mainly feel it right in the connection of the hip, right in the front of that left leg. Keeping that glute squeezed. Great job. Final 2. Excellent. So relax the glute now. We're shifting forwards, allowing our body to fully stretch as far as it can, looking up towards the ceiling, holding for 3, and then slightly pulling back. So glutes are relaxed. You breathe in, look up towards the ceiling, small arch in the back. Hands can rest on that right knee. Deep breathing here as much as you can through the nose, out through the mouth. Great job. We need a final 2 here. Take your time, breathe in, look up, big stretch. And last one. Great job. Option to keep the knee resting on the floor, or we're taking our block now and elevating that back knee. So we're moving forward, we're holding, back toe is tucked under. Chest is up, hands are resting on that front knee. We're holding here already. If your knee is elevated, it should be an increased stretch. 1 more deep breath. So full hold, and now we're putting pressure into that left leg, push down through the toe. Option to lift the knee. Deep breath here. Create that tension, keep that tension in the leg. Deep breath, 2, 1, and relax. So entire body can relax, shift forward a little bit further if you can. Notice how your body can actually go deeper into that stretch. Great job. Stay relaxed here. And we're going to do 1 more set. So drive through that back toe. Make sure it's tucked under. Option to lift the knee. Nice work. Hold it here. Deep breathing. Really feel that intensity of the stretch. Strong pull, no pain. Keep that tension and release. Nice work. Holding here, deep breath. And we will slowly, very slow, sit back, come back towards the center position. Allow your body time to close that gap and to allow it to be able to recover in this position. So stay here if you like for a few more seconds. When you're ready, you can slowly move out. We're going to transition to a little bit more mobility in the hips and in the glute. This one I find I really like from an incline surface. I'll demo it from this direction, but I do really like it inclined, so I'm going to do both. We're going to go into what's called similar to a pigeon. So what I want you to do is bring one foot forwards. Let's start with the left. My hands are on blocks, and you just want to walk the foot across the body. So now you're resting on the side of your foot, and the block should be spaced wide enough apart that you can drop your knee in between the blocks and then pull back up. So my back knee is down, I'm in a kneeling position, and I'm just shifting my body weight forwards to drop the knee and then pulling back to release tension in the hips. So this one is great doing it from inclined onto a bench. So you can stay here. I think there's enough space here. Stay there, keep that active. Or you can have your body inclined and bring, same idea, leg up onto an inclined surface, and you're dropping and shifting back. So both are great. It all depends on what works well with your body. If you're inclined, then you're from your toes. And if you're on the floor here, your back knee is dropped. So keep that active, shifting forward, pulling back. So now from here, I want you to drop the knee and just try and get it as low as you can. It doesn't have to touch the floor, but as low as you can, maintaining that straight line right across the body. So this heel should be far away from your right hip. So your shin should create a straight line all the way across the body. So if you're here, that's okay. If your knee comes closer towards your elbow, that's great. If it's closer towards the floor, it just all depends on your mobility, but I want you to think our left leg is forward, drop that right hip. Close that hip off, keep tension, we're holding here. And think about dropping that right hip even closer. This is our tension, we're holding. Deep breathing. And we'll relax back out. So we're lifting, we're pushing through the blocks, our knees come away, keep it active. So we'll do a few sets, shifting back and forth. And we're going to come down back into a hold position. So drive your knee as close as you can towards the floor. Taking that right hip, putting pressure, creating that tension. Soft bend in the elbows. So we're not hyperextending or locking our joints. Deep breath, close up that hip, keep that tension. And slowly pull back. So you can come out of this stretch however you like, nice and slow. Allow your body time to recover. We're going to come back to a center position, and we're shifting and switching to the other side. So right leg comes forward, foot in between the blocks. Walk the foot across the body. So it should be right in between your hands. And then we're dropping that knee as close as we can towards our right wrist, right knee to right wrist. If it touches the floor, great. If not, mine doesn't, it's all good. Work slowly into that mobility. Back knee is down, the back toe is untucked, so our top of our foot is flat on the floor. And we're just shifting our body weight from our hands to our back knee, creating more tension. Keeping it active. So we're going to hold here. So on your next push forward, drop the knee as low as you can. Holding. Now think about that left hip and close it off. Keep that tension. Think left hip towards left to right heel. Left hip, right heel. Nice work. Keep that tension there. One more deep breath. And slowly sit back, keeping it active again. So shifting forwards, pulling back. We're gonna do that one more time. Nice work. Deep breath in, shift forward, holding. Breathe out, drop that left hip. Soft bend in the elbows, hold here, deep breathing. You should feel a very intense stretch right in the glute and in the hip. Great job. We're holding here. And slowly release. You can come out however you like, slide your foot back, come back to a neutral position. Take a moment just to rest here, sitting back on the heels, sitting on the floor. Allow your wrists more time to relax. You can do some rotations. And we're gonna do one final one, the 90-90 bend. We've done this in one of our other mobilities, but it's great for your hips. Option to keep your blocks. I'm already thinking now I want to do another one after this too, so maybe I just lied. We're gonna do two. Okay, so we're gonna take 90-degree bend with both knees. Toes should stay flexed up and forward. So already my weight is shifted towards my left glute. My left leg is in front, right leg is behind. And we're just gonna put pressure leaning forwards and leaning back. So switching our hands. So hands to rest on the knee and the foot. And we're just switching legs, leaning forward each side that we're working on. Just a few here, keeping it active. And what I really want to focus on, so on our next inhale, we're going to lean forward. Spine is nice and tall, so we're leaning towards that front leg. Now I want you to take your right ankle and keep that tension. Try to lift it up off the floor. Relax back down. It's not going to move very far, but try to lift it. Keep that tension. So you're going to feel your glute activate, your hip activate in this back leg. We're lifting and relaxing. Nice work. Great job. Let's do 3 more. Lift as high as you can. Hold. Release. 2 more. Lift. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Release. Final one. Lift. And release. Nice work. You can keep your feet where they are. Hands behind your back. And just shift your body weight over to the other side. So your knees just flip over. I'm just going to twist so you can see. And we're going to do the same thing. So hand to knee, hand to foot. We're reaching and hinging forward. Back is straight. Switch legs. Nice work. You feel a lot of tension in the glute, in the hip, but especially in this leg that's forward. When we reach back, a really strong pull in. You may also feel a little bit in the knee as well. And it's okay to feel tension. It's okay to feel that strong pull. If it's a sharp pain, then you have to decrease your range of motion. Do not go as far if it's something sharp. So listen to your body. Great work. So our final one, we're going to hold forward and we're going to lift that back leg up and relax back down. Straighten out your arms, lift, create tension in this hip and release. Nice work. Keep that going. We're lifting, holding for 3, 2, 1, release. Nice work. Final one here, lift and hold for 3 and release. Great job. Hands behind your back. Just twist and rotate your feet and your knees side to side, keeping it active. Allow your body time to be able to recover. Notice how you feel too when your knees drop. Notice if you feel one side a little bit more than the other. Like when, for example, if I rotate towards the left, this right knee can almost touch the floor, but I switch sides and my left side has a really hard time even getting close towards the floor. I feel a lot of tension in the hip. So just notice what side feels a little bit more tense. And maybe next time we'll focus a little bit more attention on that side, or after your workout, make a note and do this stretch really quick. Try to create more mobility in that one side to work out any muscle imbalances. So our final one is a chest opener. You can use a foam roller or your roll towel for this. Either foam roll is going to be good if you have a large or a small. The ribbed ones are going to be a lot more intense and they're harder. I personally like the soft one, just feels a little bit better. But the harder the tension in the roller, the deeper it is going to get into the muscle. So line up your roller at chest height. Hips are going to stay dropped down, feet are shoulder width apart. Take your fingers, just lace the fingers in and place it gently behind your head. So we're not pulling on the neck. We're just having our head supported here. And I want you to take a deep breath in, hips stay down, and just relax over the roller. And we're going to hold here for 1, 2, and come up. When you come up, tuck your chin under, tuck your chin towards your chest. And deep breath in, relax back over the roller. 2 breaths here, and come up, relaxing over the roller. Keep those hips down. You want that mobility in the thoracic spine. The roller should stay in line with the chest. It shouldn't move. Great job. We're going to do 3 more here. Elbows spread out nice and wide. Great job. And we're going to come back, reaching over the roller and holding. So elbows come out as far as they can. If you would like to increase the intensity level, take one hand away and you can change directions of the hand. The palm should face forward, so one at a time. And you can reach behind the head. This will also improve shoulder mobility, and then reach straight out to the side. So this is an option. You could also stay with both hands behind the head. So let's do 4 here. Reaching as high as you can, keeping that arm extended, palm is up. Nice work. And we'll switch sides. Option still to stay holding with both hands supporting the head, or extending one arm, palm up, and reaching as far out to the side and as far up above the head as you can. Nice work. Take your time. Final one here. And we'll come back to center. If you like, you can tuck the chin under and lift the hips to give a small roll on the back. If you're on your towel, just stay where you are. Bring the elbows in closer towards the body to stretch out the back. And then one final one, dropping the hips, open back up those elbows to stretch out your chest again. Deep breath here to relax. And whenever you're ready, slowly come up and out. Very nice. Great job today, you guys. Our next mobility session will be focusing more on our back and shoulder mobility, our hamstrings, and our calves. So we're getting full body mobility in 2 classes. You did amazing today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on our next mobility session. Bye.